Ugandan. I'm here to talk about the situation that we have in Uganda currently. The latest that we have already in Uganda, we have the whole world actually have been demanding for the release of Edmutwe. We are talking generally about the politics of Uganda and how it is going on and how the players are doing, and in Uganda, it is a country where political players are playing dirty. They are playing deadly. They are playing with no mercy. They are playing with human life. They are playing with their human rights. They are playing with with everything, all the resources, everything, basically. So right now, I would love to see. Let's see what happened in response to the demand of the people, demand of the Uganda, the outcry. I want to also send out my humble request to everyone in Uganda, to all the citizens in Uganda, that continue demanding for the abducted people, because the politics that is being played in Uganda is basically dirty. That means they can abduct anyone, they can kidnap anyone, they can any person is not safe, and everyone is a potential victim to be abducted. So as for Edmund Trace, everyone in Uganda tried to demand for his release. Everybody in the world, all the Ugandans in Uganda and abroad, they talked about his release. They demanded for his release, and surely, if you can see that the people who abducted him are basically the dirty players. They abducted him, they kidnapped him, they tortured him in the basement, and they tried to shame him in the whole world, in the eyes of his children, in the eyes of his wife, in the eyes of his parents, mother and father, friends, like to shame him in all ways by uh, putting up his naked. He's putting up his naked photo, naked video to the public, so that the general public can see and they feel pity, or they can see and they feel scared. They can see and they feel so intimidated that they have no way of saying anything publicly. They have no way of saying anything. So, that is those are the games they are playing, everybody is playing. But as far as the government is doing, they are playing this data game to the opposition. They are playing this data game to the citizen of Uganda. They are playing this very data game to any person that they think is a threat. A threat in Uganda is no longer about getting a gun. It's no longer about being a political person. It's no longer about being opposition. It is no longer about being influential or being popular. Any local or any normal Ugandan who is seen doing things that can wake up the minds of a fellow Ugandan, doing things that can sensitize any other fellow Ugandan, that they wake up to see the reality, they wake up to see the bad thing that is happening, that they wake up to see the how things are, how politically the data game that the politicians are playing in Uganda. So as long as you can do those things, as long as you can say things the way you see, as long as you have the energy to hold a phone, a camera, and take a picture, let's say you talk about the data thing that's happening in Uganda, you are already a threat. No, even just me waking up in the morning in Uganda is a threat to the government, because they want to rule you when you are dead, they want to rule you when you are sleeping, they want to rule you when you are quiet, or when you are just a person just like that. So in reality is that there are Ugandans who are around the country and those who are abroad. They keep on saying that uh, it doesn't concern them. The politics is good for them. They are not a victim. They have not become a victim. Their people have never become a victim. Their friends are not yet victims. So it doesn't concern them. That's what they feel. That's what they say. But in real sense, you find that a Ugandan who gets a Ugandans who get in the who becomes a victim is the one who can see, who can realize the threat, who can realize how bad the system is working for them. So, as for Eddie Mutre, we all know that politics in Uganda, and I was actually trying to express how deadly and how dirty our politics in Uganda is. So, basically, my main emphasis is to look at the abduction of Eddie Mutre. And as far as we know, the latest news about him is that he was dropped. He was dropped near in Masaka. He was dropped in Masaka, and what we have known about that dropping is that he has been remanded to Masaka main prison after being charged with multiple counts of robbery, assault, and malicious damage to property. This, as we all Ugandans who have been asking for his release, we have been asking that they should release him. So, indeed, they have managed to show sympathy, though it is not exactly what all Ugandans want. All Ugandans want, if any Ugandan commits a crime, should be tried in the courts of law, should be arrested normally by the police officer, not by the army, not by an individual, not from the order of one individual, at least from the order of the authorities that are constitutionally recognized by the Constitution of Uganda, and that is exactly what every Ugandan wants. We are not against arresting any individual in Uganda. We are not against arresting citizens in Uganda, because Uganda is a big country. People commit crimes. People are people. We commit sins. We commit crime. We do so many funny things. But if we have authority in Uganda that is interested in sorting the mess that is caused by the people in Uganda, at least they should do it responsibly. You see that? So our main crime as Uganda is let everyone be tried in the courts of law, in the civilian courts, not being kidnapped anywhere and then they are taken. Hello, how are you, Irene?
Mugamba mutya?
Get tuli.
Good, and you?
Nga
Bali
munyirira.
bulungi?
Gye tuli.
Bali okusiima balala tebasiima.
Munnange munyirira mulinga abatali
Tubeera
mu
nga
struggle.
twekwese.
Mwekwekera wa? Mwekwekera wa munnange? How is our baby there?
Just dressed up for me this day.
Okay. Today we have a lot of updates that about the person we are talking about, and mostly we are trying to share our pain as Ugandans. The pain is that people are being taken into prison, they are being remanded, they are being abducted, they are being kidnapped, and there's no legal authority to be followed. There is no legal authority followed. There is no any formal protocol. There is no any form of warranty, court order, anything like that. They just kidnap someone on the way, they kidnap someone on any function, they just float and take someone. So that is exactly what you're talking about on this show. And for the case of today, the victim we have that is well known by the whole world, well known by Ugandans, that is already an example in the eyes of every person, leave alone the other members, that other people that were abducted before, the new people, the opposition leaders. Up to now, we have Besigye is still in prison. We have at the moment, we have other people like Gaddafi and all other people. They are all in prison, but being remanded with no sincere, not clear. Hey guys, I had I had some guests on the live, and their network are so bad. So let's continue from where we were. We were talking about Edmutwe. His real name is called Mr. Edward Sebufu, better known as Edmutwe, the chief civilian bodyguard of National Unity Platform. That is NOP. The leader of this platform is called Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, and Edmutwe has been remanded to Masaka main prison after being charged with multiple counts of robbery, assault, and malicious damage of properties. And they are saying that Edmutwe, who had been missing for 4 days and was dropped off at Masaka Magistrate Court, Magistrate Court on Monday, that is yesterday, May 5th, by plainclothes security personnel in a white Toyota Mark X. He appeared before Masaka Chief Magistrate Court, and they are saying that from there he was charged and was remanded to the prison. So as we all know, at least we all know how these mafias play the game. They arrest you maybe from Kampala or from Mukono, and you wake up. By the time you see the light again, you find yourself maybe in another district or even in another nation. And you find that when they are torturing you, they can arrest you in Kampala and they are torturing you in Bali. They can arrest you. Victims ranging from Edmutwe, we have Gaddafi, we have others who are not very lucky. They are killed right away. We have so many people who are being run over by vehicle, who are being shot by the bullets, who are being tear gassed, who are being beaten, who are being beaten to death, who are being beaten to being lame, like to disability. So that is the Uganda we are in. In any day you wake up and you are living, you are breathing as a Ugandan, or you are living as a Ugandan, you are a threat to the government. As long as you're living, as long as you wake up in the morning and you come out of that house, sometimes even you may not come out of your house, but still a threat. As long as your name exists, as long as they know you are there, you are just a threat. Or as long as you are born in Uganda, you are just a threat. And maybe a reminder for us all to know. There is no, actually, I don't know which people are Ugandans, because we claim we are Ugandan by birth, but then by documents we are not Ugandans. How can we have a national ID that expires? That is a national ID. It expires. Right now, most of our national IDs have expired. This happened in Kenya, but they changed the law. They changed the law of the game. Like, they issue national IDs in Kenya that does not expire, that has no expiry date. And this is supposed to be the same to Uganda. At least put a day of issuing the national ID, but not putting that even the expiry date when the person is still existing. If a child is born, let them issue for that child a national ID and a birth certificate which doesn't expire. At least let it expire with the production of, let's say, death certificate or a declaration for illegal that the what? That the individual is no longer available or is no longer a citizen of Uganda, maybe has gone to another country, or is now not Ugandan, but a fellow Ugandan led by the people in Uganda have national ID that expires. What they're about to do is to make, actually I think even birth certificate expires. I'm not sure because I saw mine as if it has a expiry date. I'll go back and check. But what I always use mostly is the national ID, and it has an expiry date. And it is the one that is even being sensitized that people should go and renew. And renewing is over how much now? They have a price on renewing national ID. So I just wonder how they are exploiting Uganda. You're already Ugandan by birth, which is what? Which is very legal, which should be when what? Much more recognized by any person. But then the government go ahead and make you have a national ID, which is also okay to identify that you're Ugandan, so that they can identify a Ugandan from an alien, a Ugandan from a foreigner, like the form of identification. That one is acceptable by law. But now, what is not acceptable by law is a practice of making a Ugandan uh, to do what? To have a national ID that expires, a national ID that needs a renew. It's like living with in a foreign country with a visa, whereby when it expires, they hunt for you, they look for you to deport you. Now, if a national ID expires, and assuming they enact a law that says every Ugandan that has a national ID that has expired should be hunted down and what will they say? Deporting? Well, what will they say? Like, we have arrested you for having being in Uganda illegally and having an expired national ID. So, in other words, we are deporting you. We are taking you to another country. We are sending you to go and be Kadama. That is a question that is in the eyes of, what, in the mouth of every Ugandan. Okay, every Ugandan worries about that, but we totally have nothing to say about it. So we the other news that is around is that it's about Edmutre's family. We see his wife and the children. They really have a very beautiful family. The child is so nice looking. The wife is nice looking, and they are all still young. That means they still need the man at home. So I also say that at least by all means, let the government feel ashamed and take back the man. Let them release the man to go back because he has a young family. He has a child who is still young. He has people who are crying for him. Yeah, I feel, yeah. Let me see comments from someone called Samson said that Edmutre's wife Rona Namara is still grappling with the emotional shock of seeing the disturbing image of her husband who was abducted last Sunday. That was a reaction from Samson, and he reacted on this after seeing the photo that came on Twitter. That, and we are, as far as we know, this photo was actually put on Twitter by the person who abducted him. We know that person is called General Muhoozi, the chief of armed forces of Uganda, and this photo turned rounds and made news, and almost all Ugandans managed to